Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how you can use an almost 20-year-old 5-inch black and white CRT TV as a secondary monitor for your computer setup, so you can watch YouTube videos or watch a movie while at the same time use your computer. Let's go ahead and check it out. Alright, so let's get started with the things that you will need in order to accomplish this kind of setup with your TV or the CRT TV and your computer. And this is the CRT TV that I found at the thrift store not so long ago. And as you can see, it's a GPX 5.5-inch black and white portable TV and radio. And somebody must have paid for it originally $49.99 back in the day at Kmart. I didn't pay that much for it. I found it at the thrift store for only $6, so a really good deal for this old little portable TV. And here in the side of the box you can see some of the specs that you could have used it back in the day with the TV. And here is a really cool looking kind of like a small portable television. It comes in with this little antenna, which you could have used it back in the day to get your video signal from over the air. Nowadays you cannot use it because the signals are digital now. But anyways, here's the side of the TV. It comes in with a volume rocker, your selector for TV and radio, and your frequency selectors for AM, FM, and VHF, UHF. So a big issue that I found with this TV initially was that it doesn't have a input port for video signals on an RCA port. So I had to get a little bit creative in order to be able to use or to get an input signal into this old CRT TV. I had to use this external antenna port as a video signal from my computer. And you'll be able to see how I accomplished that later in the video. So here's some other things that you will need in order to accomplish this kind of setup. And this adapter actually came in with the TV in the box. And this is a little adapter that you can use to connect into this external antenna port. And this one was also the item that I found the most challenging to find any kind of information about it on the web. I wasn't able to find a replacement for it, and mine was a little bit damaged as well, but I was able to use it with this kind of connection. Anyways, here's the second item that you will need. This is an indoor Vhf transformer, which you can use to connect here to the adapter, and it transforms the resistance from 75 to 300 ohm. Here's I found this at Fry's Electronics for really cheap. This was only $2, and here's the box that it came in, and the part number is BV19. And yeah, you attach it here to the adapter that came in with the TV, and you can use it to get the coax connection. You also need a coax cable. The shorter the better for my kind of setup. And you'll also need a adapter for your computer. In my case, I'm using a MacBook, and I went with the PPA USB-C to HDMI adapter. I went with the PPA because I didn't want to pay $100 for the Apple one, and this one seemed pretty good. It gives you your output signal from your computer into a HDMI form. And I went with a little more expensive version because I can also use it to charge my computer at the same time and use a secondary USB port. Next, you're also going to need a RF modulator, which you can find for a really good price on Amazon. I found this RCA branded one for about $17, I think. I'll put a link here in the description in case you need one. And this one's important because you're going to need to transform your signal from AV or RCA into RF. And in one side you get your standard RCA connectors, and in the other side your coax outputs. In my case, I'm going to use it as output, but you can also use it as input for other kind of functionality. This one is important. You're really going to need this one. This is an HDMI to AV adapter. And this one is really important because you're really going to need to transform your signal from a digital signal into an analog signal. And I found this one also on Amazon. I gotta be honest, mine worked really well, but I found some really bad reviews about it online. Apparently there's some problems with the manufacturer. Some of them come working really good for some people. But some others have had a lot of troubles with this kind of item. So just keep that in mind in case you order it online. And this one was a little bit more expensive compared to the RF modulator. I think I found this one for $20 or $25. And this is the box that it came in. As you can see, it's a mini HDMI to AV converter. Again, this one's really important because you're really going to have to transform that signal from your computer as a digital signal into an analog signal. And finally, you're going to need a standard set of audio and video cables like this one, and a standard HDMI cable. The shorter, the better. And one thing that I forgot to show you before, this is the box that the RF modulator came in. As I said, I bought this from Amazon, and in case you're interested, I'm going to put a link here in the description in case you want to buy one of these. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the actual connections for this kind of setup. And like I said before, we're going to be using this external antenna port in my CRT television because it doesn't have a regular RCA video input. So what we'll do is we'll use this adapter that is already connected to the Vhf Transformer that I showed you before. And I'm having some trouble with this kind of adapter, and I haven't been able to find a replacement online or anywhere because one of the screws is not tightening up very well. So I'm just going to use some electrical tape, and I'm going to use it to secure the connection a little bit on that on those two screws, just to make sure that it's a tight fit and it won't move when I make the installation. So there it is, and what you'll do is you'll plug in this adapter into your external antenna port on your television, on your CRT TV. And next you're going to plug in one end of your coax cable into the Vhf transformer, like that. And yeah, like I said before, you're going to plug in that end into your antenna, or your adapter end to the external antenna port on your CRT TV. Next, you're going to use your RF modulator, and you're going to plug in the other end of your coax cable into the 2TV port or output port of the RF modulator, because that's going to grab your RCA input and is going to transform it into an RF signal into that coax port. So let's move on to the other side of the setup. This is the digital side, and I'm going to use my PPA USB-C HDMI adapter. And this kind of adapter will vary according to, or depending on what kind of laptop computer you have. In my case, I'm going to use the USB-C connection to plug it into my MacBook Pro, and I'm going to use the HDMI cable to connect it into the HDMI port in the adapter. And I'm going to grab the other end of the HDMI cable, and you're going to plug it into the HDMI to AV converter. And remember, this must be HDMI to AV, not the other way, because it's going to grab your digital signal from your computer and it's going to transform it into an analog signal into the RCA connectors in the other side. What you'll do is grab your standard RCA cables, or your yellow, red, and white connectors, and plug it into the other end of the converter, like that. And you have your connection made, and the other end of the audio video cables are going to go to the other end of the RF modulator as your input into the modulator, and going into your TV as an RF signal. After that, just make sure that all your connections are tight, and you should be good to go after that. And just to recap, the digital video signal goes from your HDMI adapter on your laptop into the HDMI cable, which goes to the HDMI to AV adapter or converter, transforms the signal from digital to analog, and then that analog signal goes in from the AV end of the converter into the RF modulator as an input, and that transforms the signal into an RF signal, and it goes from the coax end from one end into the Vhf transformer, which goes into the small external antenna adapter on your TV and into your CRT TV. And after that, you'll be good to go. I just moved in my CRT TV into this position because I wanted to make sure that it's close to my main screen on my laptop, so I can easily move things in and out into the secondary screen. Just turned on the CRT TV, and as you can see, it will start already showing the my desktop. So it's already extending my screen from my laptop into the CRT TV. And what you want to make sure is you want to make sure that that your dial on your TV is on the right channel, because the RF modulator is going to send in the signal to a specific channel. In my case, I think it's channel 3. So you want to make sure that it's in the right channel, and your signal should be able to show into that specific channel. And I think it's good to go. I'm going to go ahead and move in this little window from my laptop into the television. And it's just a window that has YouTube in it. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the speakers because I still have my audio going into my regular speakers and not into the CRT TV. That's it. You can actually also maximize the view on the window, so you can see the full video on your secondary screen. And those lines that you may see there in the screen on the CRT TV, you can actually don't see those in real life. That will only show up when I'm recording it on camera. And that's it. You can actually use that one, your black and white TV, as a secondary monitor. You can use your regular laptop in order to do some work, edit some photos or videos at the same time in the background, playing some YouTube videos or some music videos in the secondary screen. And you can easily pause it or minimize it on the video. And that's it. I've been using this setup pretty much just as a novelty item, just to have something or some video running in the background while I do some work on my laptop. It's a really cool looking television, vintage looking black and white television. It's a really cool conversation starter as well, because people really notice it when they come to my room. And I don't know, it just looks really cool, and it's a fun and functional thing at the same time. So there's no reason to throw away your old CRT TVs, really. Let me know if you like this setup. Thank you for watching.